How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about NNDM nano dimensions. It has been a while since I talked about it on this channel, but hey, I'm getting a lot of requests. People are telling me, hey, we need to get an update. Have you seen the recent stock price? It is trading below its enterprise value. You know what? We'll talk about it in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for NNDM Nano Dimensions. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $3.37, being up 4.01%. On the low, it tested $3.13, and then on the high, testing $3.37. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 5.921 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 7.60 8 million shares. So one thing we noticed, we did have below average volume on the day, but we still ended up showing some strength. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it's at 39.76. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So one thing we noticed right away, we are in a bear market trading below all of our major moving averages. So if I was going to be looking at this in regards to a swing trade, then I'd want to set up my stop loss right here at this $3 level. Because what it looks like so far, we might be looking forward to seeing some more momentum into the stock. And we're talking about reaching the 21-day EMA right here at 360. This will be a key level because if we can get to 360 and gain some more momentum, then we can get to right here around that $4 level, which we know will be a psychological area. So that is one thing that you're going to want to keep in mind. As far as for the high that we saw on the Friday at 337, I think it's very possible for us to get through it, and what you want to look for is seeing if it can break through that 350 area. That will be key. And as far as investors are concerned, just to give you a quick heads up, if we take a look at the book value compared to the stock price is actually really undervalued because the book value is around $5.74. So you could take that, add that to your homework and as well as your due diligence. So for investors, this really does become an interesting play, I must say. So now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for NNDM. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at recent filings, we can see for January the 27th, we have ProShares Trust ProShares Nanotechnology ETF that purchased 19,822 shares. And then we could see for January the 24th, National Bank of Canada went in with 1,650 shares. We also do see a closed position here from Global Retirement Partners LLC, but we also see Trust Company of Vermont that purchased 1,650 shares. And now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 48.73%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 1.269 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 29 minutes ago, and then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 0.99%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 27th, it was at 50.19, and then for the close of the 28th being at 48.73. So this is still up there, and what this tells us, NNDM still has short squeeze potential. The criteria we normally look for is 21% 21% or higher, and it's more than doubled that. So this is why I'm saying if we have a catalyst or buying volume coming through this play, you can see some strong moves to the upside. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution.
Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for NNDM. So we see here on the inflow it's at 3.32, and then on the outflow it's 3.57. So it ended up being an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, it was 0 on the large. On the medium, it was 1.71, and then on the small, it was 1.61. When we take a look at the outflow side, we can see on the large it was 0. On the medium, it was 2.23, and then on the small, it was 1.34. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, we could see zeros down the board. When we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, like we said, it was 0. Now, taking a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 2.38%. So this is not too bad for a stock like NNDM. But one thing to be aware of though, there are many who are continuing to hold on to their positions. Yes, we do have some traders that go in and out of the play, but one thing that is very clear, we have been seeing some stabilization in the stock price, but again, this is all dependent on market conditions and the sentiment around the stock. So now let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for NNDM Nano Dimensions, when we take into consideration the book value, it is around $5.74, and currently where the stock closed at is around $3.37. So yes, it is undervalued due to the fact that they do have a lot of cash on hand, and I've talked about that in previous videos. So if you're looking to get into this stock, that is one thing that you're going to want to be aware of. If you are a swing trader, for myself, I would say setting up a stop loss around $3 is perfectly fine, and then seeing what the stock could do from there. I feel like if the market conditions do pick up, NNDM can benefit from this, and is why I want to make sure I put it on your radar. Also, taking into consideration that price action, yes, you want to see it get above $3.60 and then look for that move going to $4. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, yes, we do see some activity on the institutional side. I would like to see a lot more of that, but again, we have to take into consideration these filings are coming from activity in the past. They were not made on the dates that I'm actually sharing them with you. But one thing that is also very clear, NNDM also has short squeeze potential. So this is why if you have any sort of catalyst or you have more buying volume coming into the stock, you can see some moves to the upside. But for anyone who's an investor, you're definitely going to have to demonstrate some patience here. They have to grow those revenues. They have to show the market that they can make continuous improvements over time in regards to operations. But one thing we do know, the company is focused on growth. They have done a number of acquisitions, and we could see as far as for the future is concerned, it does look very bright. We also do know these are one of Kathy Wood's favorite stocks that she likes to load up on as well. And NNDM was really big during that time of 2020 and as well as 2021. So that is one thing to be aware of, and it was able to benefit tremendously off of that. And the great thing about it is, even though they did do a number of offerings, they are putting that cash to work, and they're not just going out there wasting money. They are making sure that they're being efficient while focusing on deals that make the most sense for the company, and that's one thing you have to appreciate if you are an investor. And this is why I say you want to do your homework and as well as your due diligence if you're thinking about jumping into the stock, because at the end of the day, you are owning a piece of a company. You should have high conviction because you've done your homework. If you're looking to get out of the play, figure out the best decision that is right for you, especially if you end up seeing other opportunities. But for the most part, if you are vested in this play, it is a long-term outlook that you need to have. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how it performs for the coming week.